7 Days with Peter Plankin.
Monday.
This is the first time my mother has ever left me alone. She went on her holidays last night to the basement. She didn't tell me how long she'd be away for. It's quite exciting in a way. I can wear all of her lovely clothes and eat my favourite cat food. I don't really know what to do on my own, so I just did what the mother normally does and started the day by clearing up all the little bags of dog dirt on the mat by the front door. At least none of them are on fire this morning, Peter, mother always says.
It always makes me laugh when she says that.
The rest of the day was taken up by alternating between finishing my jam map and staring out of the window directly into the sun. 7 Days with Peter Plankin.
Tuesday.
I went to bed last night and woke up again today. I am a man of routine, but nothing else really. There was a knock on my front door. It certainly didn't come from my side. I know that because if it did, it would have been me that knocked, and it wasn't, because it wasn't. I opened the door to see if the knock had come from the other side, and it had. My curiosity had been rewarded with the sight of a postman stood standing there. "Did you knock on my door?" I asked it. "Yes," replied the postman, who I now observed was holding a large envelope out towards me. "Is this a stick-up? Take what you want and leave me alone," I flumed. "Are you Peter Plankin?" came his menacing response. "I have a delivery for you that you must sign for." "That's just your opinion," I glugged and snatched the envelope out of his stupid postman hand. I slammed the door in his face, but not before screaming something dreadful at the letterbox slag. I decided not to open the envelope there and then, but instead to dedicate the rest of the day to exploring the living room carpet. It's amazing what your eyes can see when you really drive them hard. I went to bed exhausted. What a busy day, I heard myself puke. Mother will be proud. 7 Days with Peter Plankin. Wednesday. It was raining. I knew this because I had written, "It is raining," in squashed flies on the ceiling above my bed. Ho hum, I wept and put on all of my outdoor plastics, complementing the look with a set of face blinkers and my favourite Steven Seagal knee masks. I looked down at my shopping list. Toilet roll, kitchen towel, tissues, it read. I realised I had only enough money for 2 of these items on my list. I mused. I suppose I could leave out the toilet roll. I can just do my toilet out of the window into oncoming weather, like I used to do in the holiday camps. That would be just swell, I ejaculated, and set off to locate the front door and the horrible wonderfuls beyond. Mother says I'm not allowed to talk about what I do when I go out into the not my house, so I don't. It hurts to disappoint mother, especially when she's on her holidays. So I'll fast forward like a video star to the bit where I'm in bed again, completely relaxed and extremely agitated. I twitch myself off all the way to sloppy oblivion. 7 days with Peter Plankin. Thursdays are always Bible days in our house. This shouldn't and doesn't change just because Mother's away, should it? Does it? No, it shouldn't, and no, it doesn't. I found the Bible room through sheer perseverance. I'm usually blindfolded when I'm led here, you see. And then I commence my studies. There are over 5,000 copies of the Bible in the Bible room, all exactly the same print and edition. I have to study them until I need to do my toilets, not read them or anything. I just have to sit and stare at them all on that big bookshelf. I lasted 4 hours today. It's not a record, but it is excellent. I recorded it all on my video to show Mother when she gets back. Or Uncle Pelvis. I know he likes this sort of thing. I could see if he wanted to come round and we can have a big man session. Oh, turkey pops, cola beaks, the lot. I phoned my Uncle Pelvis. He didn't exist, so I just said night-night to no one and went to bed. Before I did, though, I opened the envelope up, just to let the contents breathe a little overnight. I'll read that in the morning, I reminded my mind. I turned the light off. I turned the light on. I turned the light off. I turned the light on. I turned the light off. I turned the light on. I turned the light off. I turned the light on. I turned the light off. I turned the light on. I turned the light off. I turned the light on. I turned the light off. I turned the light on. I turned the light off. I turned the light on. I turned the light off. I turned the light off. 7 days with Peter Plankin. Friday. Clip-clop went my hooves as I hopped out of bed. I love my new snooze hooves, I chuckled, taking them off and replacing them with my wide-awake day shoes. Today was the day I was going to read the contents of the envelope that postman had so rudely delivered. I knew I was excited, as I had written, "You are excited," in staples across my forehead, backwards so as I could read it properly in the bathroom mirror. Ha ha, clever me. Yes. The contents of the envelope came as something of a shock. There was a photograph of a massive dinosaur thing tearing up and into the city of Tokyo. Only it had my face. Yes, my Peter face, with all of its usual features and orify. Now, I do now and again suffer from what Mother's doctor calls my pretend blackouts, but I was sure I'd remember doing something like this, unless of course I'd forgotten. I looked again. There was a note enclosed. I'll read it for you. Dear Peter Plankin. Here's a picture of you twatting Tokyo. This could destroy what's left of your reputation if it got into the wrong hands. So what I want is this. I want £1,000 in a clammy satchel left under the dry end of the Brooklyn Bridge by midnight tonight. Otherwise, these photos go viral. Photos? There was more than one. I looked into the envelope again, and sure enough, there was more incriminating evidence. There was a picture of a giant gorilla with my face hanging onto the top of the Empire State's building, swatting off biplanes. There was another of a massive shark, again with my face, menacing Richard Dreyfuss. A third photo showed me breaking out of John Hurt's ribcage as he was being held down by some other humans. I'd seen enough. I'm being blackmailed, I agreed, and looked at the note again. I recognised the handwriting this time. It was mine. 7 days with Peter Plankin. Saturday came and went as usual, but in betwixt its comings and goings I did have 2 visitors. The first was from the police. I knew it was the police because I had "Think about the police" written in blood and toilet on my bathroom floor. They must have broken in during the night and done that, I wrote in response below the legend, and in the same media. The policeman was outstanding. He was mainly just interested in Mother's holidays, how it was going and that. He didn't know that Mother was on holiday. He just said that some of her usual clubs hadn't seen her in a while and were wondering about her whereabouts. I said everything was fine and she was having a smashing time. I didn't really know what to say when he asked me about the staple marks in my head, so I just shut the door. I laughed hysterically for the next hour or so as the policeman kept knocking on the door. My second visitor came some time later, in what everyone on the televisions refers to as the afternoon. "Who is it?" I keenly asked through the recently knocked door. "It's the landlord, Plankin," he uncouthed. "And I want my money." My blackmailer, I rightly or wrongly concluded, and threw a brick at a map of Sweden. I squashed my face up from the outside and opened the door up from the inside and squared up to my foe. "You, sir," I furrowed, "have been rumbled. I know who you are, and more to the point, I know who you aren't." "I just want my money, Plankin," ploughed the empty specimen standing agape on my porch. "You'll get my money when you put it where your mouth is," I jelly rumbled back, before slamming the door off his lips and back into its brackets. "That's quite enough for one, Peter," I panicked, and got into my favourite dreams quilt. "Night, night, Saturday," I screamed into the dark. 7 days with Peter Plankin. Sunday. As it was Sunday, I put on Mother's Sunday best and did my face up all nice. I went downstairs to check on Mother's basement holiday. She looked like she was really enjoying herself, and she'd made some new friends, which was nice. Most of her friends scattered when I turned on the light, but the one that remained, who was certainly the biggest, told me in no uncertain terms that his name was Freud, before slinking off into a corner to stare at me and gnaw on a piece of floorboard. The next noise that wasn't in my head came from upstairs. That bloody front door again, I plummeted. I'm definitely getting that removed whilst Mother's away, so as no one gets the idea to knock on it anymore. Put your hands where I can see them, I next heard. It was the nice policeman from yesterday, only now he was wearing different clothes. More policey, if anything. Phew, I laminated. I'm glad I dressed up too. I didn't know I'd be having company today. Do you like my hair offices? Just put your hands where I can see them, plumped the policeman, pointing his water pistol at me. Did you catch my blackmailer? I snatched. But he now seemed more interested in mother's holiday photographs on the mantelpiece to answer any more of my questions. Another police minister joined in our happy gathering. What's in the basement, Plankin? He queried. I didn't like this one so much. Very obtuse. Put your hands on your head and face the wall, he speaked. And I spoked. I've faced the wall before. I've passed that test, thank you very much. Would you like some of yesterday's frozen memories? I spooned, opening the freezer. 7 days with Peter Plankin. Postscript. The next thing that happened I can't remember. My new best friend, Horrible Daniel, tells me I was tasered. That would explain all the electricity behind my eyes, I suppose. Horrible Daniel and I share a room at this new holiday camp they've put me in. Sometimes when he's asleep at the night, he tells me over and over again that he wants to go on a holiday to the basement with mother. I usually laugh off his suggestion, but recently he's been getting louder and more persuasive. I think tonight I might help him to pack. What were you doing on the night of the 15th, exactly 1 week before we took your custard in, is a question they keep asking me, and I always say the same thing. Lots of somethings, I suppose. I think I was mostly trying to reanimate Oedipus, mother's tortoise, with my extreme science. I think mother's postcard from her holidays sums things up nicely the best. It says, Peter, enjoy the rest of your holiday life. Peter, pond water eater. Oh, my love. Mother. Just like the blackmail notes, I recognised the handwriting. Again, it was mine. Peter, pond water eater. Peter, pond water eater. Peter, pond water eater. Peter, pond water eater. Peter, Peter, pond water eater. 7 days with Peter Plankin. The end. The end.